So,
Doing good. Listen, we're going to chat in here and we're going to quickly get into Fidelity launches a crypto metaverse ETF. And that's interesting because they could not get any of the Bitcoin metaverses done.
oh wow. Why is that? What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, at the end of the day, my thoughts on that, obviously, we cover everything at the Crypto News Network. Welcome in, guys. I think the issue is that at some point, if you're Fidelity, right, here they are launching the Fidelity ETF into the metaverse. I mean, you have to get tired of waiting to try to get some type of. I mean, obviously, the biggest banks in the world are getting denied, and they're part of the elite, right? And and that's just because they're trying to buy time with the 40% of the population in America that controls all the money, which are the baby boomers. And the baby boomers have their kids at home who are showing them how to buy Shiba Inu and Doge and flip crypto, right?
Yep,
I mean, so the
that's the
kids,
truth.
the kids are down there. I mean, you got 18-year-old kids that are making more money than their parents living in Mexico going, Dad, come on, man. Your job sucks, right?
You gotta
And
get on it.
you got to get on it, right? I mean, these guys, the kids are sounding the alarms. They're making the money. They're locked and loaded, right? And they're pulling the trigger. They're doing what their parents aren't doing, right? They're getting it done. And that right there is what's very important because once you have that going on, the parents have to listen because their kids are, making $200,000-300,000,
Hmm.
right? So when that's all said and done, taking a look here, Fidelity is launching two new thematic exchange traded funds, not just one, but two that have five fixed income sustainable funds and ETFs, which will offer investors exposure to the cryptocurrency and metaverse industries. All right. So the new funds will be available on around April 21st. So we're got what's going on. Hey, thank you, Mosey. We're basically what we got going on here is the April 21st. Where we at? 4 days away. So guys, in the
Pretty much, yes.
4 days away. Guys,
Well,
let us know what you think about this. What metaverses you think they're going to go into? What do you think they're important? The other day, if you were paying attention, if you would have noticed, who's that? Jamie Dimon's group snuck one of their banks into a metaverse. Did you know which one that was, Moon?
nope, I did not.
So there's a bank, a smaller version of the bank, but Jamie Dimon and them guys have a different, like a different type of branch of bank, and that ended
Hmm.
up inside of Decentraland.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and also I think Sony and a couple other companies are going into Decentraland,
Yes.
right? And then you got
Nike.
Nike, and then it's interesting because Nike's also teamed up with Roblox. So is Roblox going to start rotating towards
I've
Decentraland?
I've actually played in that metaverse. It's very cool what they're doing. I mean, and this is just the beginning. When this actually evolves to what I think it's gonna be amazing.
When you take that and you say, okay, get rid of Decentraland, get rid of the come down to the basics of where it is. The Roblox is a very interesting product because it kind of reminds me of like Minecraft, right?
Yes.
Where they're in a whole different ball game because they exist on Xbox. They have a gaming center. They're part of the largest industry of money that's out there. That's really is where metaverse needs to go, which is in the video gaming section. And they can easily incorporate blockchain into their game and get what they need out of blockchain versus a game being built in blockchain trying to get to where Roblox and Minecraft is, right? It's two different worlds. So let's see what they're talking about here. Now, the Fidelity Crypto Industry and Digital Payments ETF will invest at least 80%, that's huge, of its assets to equity securities included in Fidelity's crypto industry and digital payments indexed and its depository receipts representing securities index and index to fund offers indirect exposure to cryptocurrency by investing in mining and trading blockchain technology and digital payment processing companies, right? So that's an interesting concept. You notice how like earlier before, I don't know if you were paying attention, they were talking about the Bitcoin ETFs and the banks were
Yeah.
talking about doing 10%.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So they're coming out where they're
Mm-hmm.
firing at 80% out the gate. So this has to be a pretty well thought out type situation, to just be like, hey, we're doing 80% in the security. So they're looking for companies that develop, manufacture, distribute, or sell products or services related to enabling the metaverse. So what they're going to do is kind of, I mean, that sounds like Engine. That sounds like,
It.
uh,
I was gonna say that it does sound like Engine.
yeah, I mean, it sounds like the companies that are going to where the metaverses are going to be. So let's see, is it related to establishing, enabling the metaverse, such as computing hardware, components, digital and structures, design, engineering, software, gaming technology and software, web development and content services, and smartphone and wearable technology. They're going after VR.
Oh yeah. I mean, doesn't it make sense?
Absolutely.
If you didn't, then you would be missing out. And I think that's going to be the protocol for all of these companies. Once I mean, it's going to be full clothing, shoes. I mean, it's just going to be money making machine from every aspect.
I mean, so I mean that's just I mean if you're not understanding like what I was talking about, months ago, literally 8 months ago, that NFTs will be 70%. Actually, I said NFTs would be 90% of the crypto world, right? And most people didn't understand what that meant. And I was like, everything NFT will run the world. Like you can fungi token anything you want. Like you can tokenize everything in the world, and that's an
Yeah.
NFT. Like what else is there? I mean, a very
Crypto will be secondary.
yeah. I
It's
mean,
what they don't.
it's just a coin. It's just it,
And I think that people that are into NFTs really get that. The people that aren't into NFTs don't grasp the concept. NFTs can be anything. It doesn't have to be a pixelated ape, or a pixel or a bored ape. It doesn't have to be that. And that's where the newbies and the people that are just now starting to get into NFTs, that's what they have to grasp. But you're right. I do think that NFTs are going to surpass, crypto. People are going to be doing crypto for financial freedom, but also to fund their NFTs.
yeah.
At least that's what I'm thinking,
They're already talking about
personally.
yeah, they're talking about Fidelity will offer 51 ETFs with more than 33 billion in assets under management. I mean,
Again, insane.
33 billion dollars coming into some sort of NFT platform, which is I mean, guys, the only thing that holds back technology is the ability to create it. So if they're coming in with VR, computer chips with AMD or NVIDIA, or investing in all the engine and companies, I mean, like, companies that can sustain actual um, software development. I mean, this is going
Isn't
to
sand also one
yeah,
or
sand is
no?
also one. Yeah, so I mean, every NFT platform needs money to. I mean, the technology needs to be there to grow. So I mean, 33. I mean, they're talking like they went from coming in with an ETF. They're like, okay, we're going to come in and do 21 as of April 21st. I mean, what did it say to launch ETFs? I mean, they're coming right out the gate, coming out on the 21st, 80%. They're already looking at 51 ETFs with more than 33 billion. I mean, that's 33 billion, and they're putting 80% of their assets in the debt securities. Believes that it has positive environmental and social governance (ESG) themes. So what you need to look for is with this launch of Fidelity's sustainable lineup, which includes 22 funds, including the thematic sustainable funds that focus on specific ESG theme, and broad sustainable funds that include all three ESG themes, right? So that's going to be the key, guys. If you're going to go do investing, you need to go dig into this. Take your time to kind of like Google the ESG themes and see what companies stack up on that, because Fidelity's coming with $33 billion, right? So that's going to give you a lot of insight of what you can be looking for. Meanwhile, their Core Plus Bond Fund, Fidelity Sustainable Core Plus Bond Fund, low duration bond fund, Fidelity low durations, income fund, 80% assets. But they're always looking for the social governance ESG benefits, passive managed self-indexed, 51 EFTs, 33. But they're bringing some money here, guys. So this is, I mean, this just means that the technology and what everyone's talking about, when you talk about NFTs and what it brings to what's coming up in the future, they just broke it down. They're willing to drop, 27 billion dollars into everything that has to do with NFTs. So, I mean, at that moment, you got to say to yourself, I mean, what's your final thoughts on that?
I think that if you're not into NFTs and you're still like holding back, I think you're missing out more than you can imagine. I want to see where all of this is at in 2 more years, because it's gonna blow up.
Oh,
I think it's even gonna blow up in a year. I mean, since we hit our peak with NFTs to now, look at all the conferences and all of the different things going on with that revolve around NFTs alone. Look at all the projects that have come up. Look at all the people creating NFTs that have come up. Real estate has already been sold. I mean, it's just it's like a snowball. It's already taken off, and like if you're not into NFTs, and I mean, I'm not telling you to go out there and buy an ape or just research them, look into different projects, look into what they can do. But if you're not into NFTs, I think you're really missing out.
well, I mean, I think this is a good opportunity right here to just kind of do a little research into Fidelity, because Fidelity is not jumping right into the NFT space. They're jumping into the foundation of the NFT space. So by learning what that means and what companies are getting involved and what they're building, then you'll have an understanding what an NFT is and what it's capable of doing and where it can go. And then that'll help you with your investments and just kind of move through. But you want to, I mean, I think the biggest thing that we can say here is you want to be a little bit quick with your Dior. You don't want to waste time on this, because this is moving fast, and getting in very, very early is kind of the play for most people, because that's going to get you the biggest returns. And that's kind of what, put your coffee money in there instead of buying the coffee side, most people would say. And that really brings that moment there.
Yeah, this space is not for the lazy or for the weak. If you're gonna get into something or into a project or anything at all, and you saw it tonight, and you said, "I'll wait till tomorrow." Tomorrow's news is old news. Like, you've got to be on this. You've got to be on it. You just can't, just jump into things or invest or look. You got to be on it, because otherwise, like I said, you're missing out.
You're missing out. And just like that, guys, we're going to give you a nice little reminder. Swing over to the Twitter. It is at VC Crypto Nation. So the VC Crypto Nation Twitter is up. Make sure you swing in there. You definitely want to catch everything that's going on there. VC Crypto Nation is where you find it. We're dropping all the gems. We just put a gem up there, but this is where you're going to find all your information. We're covering all the news, let you guys know what's going on. As always, it's your boy VC. Moon's in the house as always. And other than that, guys, make sure you Dior. You guys take care. Have a good night.
Good night.